Okay, I think we have one question here. So please, will you be teaching API testing as part of this? No, it is not inclusive of API testing. So this is only going to be C# with Selenium and as well as Specflow. Kwame, Specflow is included, right? So yeah, I think so. Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be C#, yeah, with Specflow. So but API is not inclusive in this particular course anyway. Yeah. Hope that answers that question. Okay. So another question that I've got here is, please, what of PC configuration for this course? Or the config you mentioned was only for laptops? Okay. Kwame, do you want to answer that if you're still there? Okay. If I may answer that, I think
Sorry, I think I
okay.
was muted. So
All
I
right.
was talking.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the spec I mentioned is also inclusive of desktop PC. So the minimum you should have is like 4 cores. So if you are checking, as I told you, go to computer management, type in your search bar, it will give you the spec of your PC. But if you feel like you want to buy a new PC, check on any place for a new PC if you don't have one already. The minimum spec, depending, it doesn't matter the brand, but make sure that the specs are on the PC or laptop. It should have at least 4 cores. It should have 8 gig RAM. It should have 512 SSD, and it can be Intel. If it's Intel, it should have i5 processor, and if it's AMD, it should have AMD Ryzen 5. So this is the minimum, regardless whether it's a laptop or it's a desktop PC.
All right. Thank you so much for that. So, and yeah, thanks, Kwame. Another question is, who is responsible for script writing? Kwame.
You as the automation tester, you should be responsible for writing the script. So learning C# will help you using Selenium as well, the bindings from Selenium to write the code. So you have to write those test scripts in the C# language to run your tests.
If I may add to that, Kwame, there are 2 scripts, manual script and automation script. So who is responsible for those?
Oh, well, there it would depend in the environment that you are, but in Blue Sky Citadel, you'll be responsible for both. Write your own manual tests and write your own automation tests as well for your manual. But in some companies that I've seen, they can segregate the automation tester to write only automation, and they can have manual testers to do their manual testing. But some places you write both manual testing and automation.
Thank you, Kwame. Thank you so much. It's even good that you mentioned that. I remember there's a place that I've worked, even my wife also worked in another place. So what they only did was only writing manual test script, actually. Yeah. I love that environment. You don't even run it at all. So only write manual test script. And so funny that I think they gave them to write like 6 in a day, 6 test script in a day. And I said, wow, I can write 20. It's so funny. It depends on how level you want to write your test script.
Yeah, very detailed.
Yeah, someone can write 20 in a day where you only write 1. Do you get it now? I was like, I was making the fun of the test manager to say that why are you going to be judging people by number of test script? That's not a very good metrics actually, but it's what it is what it is. Yeah, there's some places that you only write the test script, and then another people would then even test it actually manually.
Yeah.
So, and you have I'll also work in a place where test test script in terms of feature files were written by another people that are not technical. Then another people now write the test, what's it called, step definitions actually. So yeah, it depends. And you could also be fortunate to work in a place that you have to do everything. And also even you will be confused that am I actually a developer here or not? So that also is it's really, really possible. So it depends on how where you get the job. If you are
Yeah.
fortunate, manual testing, and it also depends on what you are looking for as well, to be honest. So, and if you are looking for code manual testing, you can get code manual testing. If you are looking for core automation, you can also get core automation as well. So one thing that I also would advise some other people is that even if you are looking for manual testing, this course is very, very important for you as well, because there's some roles in manual testing. They want someone that's got automation as well, even though you might not do any automation at all. And you see some of the roles,
It's true.
you see the tools they put in there is scary, isn't it? You go for interview, it's scary. And then you go to the job, they start to give you manual testing to do, like,
Yeah, so I will advise people on call, don't be afraid to feel like, oh, I haven't learned C# within the last 3 months, so I can't apply for automation role, because you'll be surprised some companies are not ready for automation. But because they don't want to hire a manual tester, then after 6 months, 1 year, hire an automation tester, it will be a cost to their resources. So they will hire you as an automation tester, but you'll be doing a lot of manual work till they feel like, oh, are you ready to do automation? So sometimes you can be in the company 1 year, 2 years, and they're not ready for automation. And
or
you see yourself
you
doing
might not even do it at all.
at all. Yeah. So
All
don't be
right.
afraid. Apply.
Okay, there's another person that is raising the hand. Use the iPhone if you can. Yeah, if you want to unmute, please. Use the iPhone. iPhone. Okay. Otherwise, I've asked you to unmute. If you can unmute, please. Okay. So another question here is, hello, for Scrum, what is the system requirement? During the class, you mentioned 512 memory. You just want to be sure. Secondly, sir, what is the best to register for between Scrum Master and Scrum Master in Dynamic 365? I don't mind. Okay. All right. One thing I can say to this one, in terms of the system requirements, yes, 512 gigabyte is okay. I think the same specification that Kwame mentioned, or 8 RAM, and also quadra core is fine. So yeah, but of course, for Scrum Master, it's a bit less. Anything that you can use Microsoft Word on, I think will be fine. Because you are not going to be installing Visual Studio. You're not going to be running any Power Automation, or running any code anyway. So anything, any standard system that you can use for Excel, Word, and you got enough memory, I think that should be fine for you. You don't need to invest in a lot of machines if you don't have any. So okay. And another question is, are we going to be learning both? Okay, sorry, before I move to that one, so there's another question on that, on the last question, that say, which one is the best to register for Scrum Master or Scrum Master in Dynamics 65. One thing, it's going to be difficult for me to advise you, to be honest. So, or to say, this is what you need to go for, don't go for this, actually. So my job will be to expose you to what you're going to get in all these courses. It's like saying you have two sons and they have to ask you which one you want to take. So please don't put me in that situation to say, oh, which one do you want to recommend? But it depends on who you are, right? So one thing I can tell you is Scrum Master, you're going to learn on both sides, actually. So that's one. So, and in the Scrum Master core one, you may have more people within your team, all right? So in the Dynamics, you have Scrum Master and they're also going to be Dynamics with it. It depends on who you are. If you think I just need to focus on knowing knowing Scrum Mastering because I don't know it before, then yeah, I would say go for that one. If you think, yeah, I've already know what the Scrum Master should do and everything, and then okay, I can actually add dynamic with it. That's another thing, because for the dynamic, it's going to be heavy and it's going to be also power packed as well, because there are other tools that you need to learn as you are learning Scrum Mastering. So I don't want you to struggle learning what is Scrum Master. You don't know what ceremonies is and everything. So, but, and also you are still trying to learn the tools as well. So that will be difficult. So yeah, okay. So another question, are we going to be learning both manual testing and automation during the internship? Yes, the answer is yes. You are going to be learning both of them, the manual testing and the automation at the internship. So, but I know some people are only here for manual testing and a few for automation. You are free to choose, but to be honest, even if you have known manual testing somewhere or you know how to do it, so this is going to be a new, like a refresher course for you. Even for me, I sit in most of these training and I learn from other tutors as well, because they've got their own ways of teaching and also their experience as well from their workplaces they came in. And yeah, so the same thing applies to automation as well. I sit, even Kwame was mentioning my name, but I still sit in Kwame's lecture as well and learn from him, because now, even though I don't remember how long I've taught him something, but yeah, but he now he has worked in different places. So he's going to come with his own experience. He's able to say, oh, this is how we do things at work and everything. So yeah, I still sit down and I learn from him as well. So, and this is the reason for this platform anyway. So yeah, manual testing will be taught. Automation also will be there as well. If you are going for quality assurance or software testing, both of them, you can decide which one you want to go for. I would advise you do both of them. Then when your CV, at the point of doing your CV, you can decide to say, I want to go and apply for software testing, manual testing, or you want to go for automation testing. So, but don't get afraid of automation. We're going to break it down for you, to be honest. So Kwame is a wonderful teacher, and I've got very brilliant teachers as well. So, and we try to break it down like a building block to say, you're a kid, you don't know anything. We start from very beginning, that you don't have any IT experience. What do you need to do? We hold your hand. We are able to say, okay, put it here, and put them together. That is the metrics that we've actually used anyway. So, and there will also going to be a workshop where you come and we show us what you've done, and we'll be able to say, okay, this is where you are having issues, and yeah, and in your team there are other mentors as well. So don't be discouraged by some terminology that Kwame might have said this evening. So he is going to take it over again like a baby, and to be honest, 1 hour is too short for you to explain software testing automation anyway. So yeah, okay. And I've got two people. Onye, do you want to? Okay, sorry. Onye, I'm going to unmute you if that's okay. So if you want to speak, please. Onye. Okay.
Thank you very much.
No worries.
This is just what I'm thinking, because I know you're going to put us into teams on Sunday. Yeah, and in order for the team to work well or the team to flow together, because some of us are doing shifts, some of us are doing 9 to 5. Is there a way we can send out a chat so that you'll be able to put teams that can work together, like people that do 9 to 5 being the same team, and people that work shift can be equally on the same team?
Yeah, I get what you're trying to do, and to be honest, it's not something that we've kind of thought about that. And I know the team already kind of put the team together already, actually. I'm not sure that it's too late now to factor that in. And I can tell you, we've been doing this for almost, I started this 2009, and people kind of, yeah, are aligned to it as well. Even if you're working morning, you try, yeah. So, but it's a good discussion. It's a good suggestion, to be honest. So I will not discard that. So I'll see if there's anything that we can do, because it's going to be a bit difficult as well, because within the team, I'll tell you the structure. That would mean that we need to put a team down, like maybe Scrum Masters, BA, QA, DA, that will be able to factor in that time. It might be too late now, to be honest. It's something that we will look into, right? So if let's say you're able to see one team that's say, okay, we can work in the afternoon. But one thing that I can tell you, right, so that has worked before, the trainings are in the evening, starting from 8 to 10 o'clock or 11, right, in some cases. And virtually all the trainings are recorded, so you can go back and watch them if, let's say, you are working nights, or you missed it, then so what's going to happen is you might miss it, but you can go and kind of record, watch it again. So the next thing that I can say is now the meetings. So this is now where you need your team, right, to work with it. So for some people, they say, oh, sorry guys, maybe the sprint planning is in the evening, but I will not be able to meet it because I am working. So, and one thing that they will do is that, okay, they know you are working, you send your update to them before then, and then when you finish, you catch up with one of them actually to say this. Most importantly, what I can say, this platform is about doing parts actually. So let's say you are a QA or BA, right? So there will be tasks that will be allocated to you to do. So you should go in there, maybe let's say you work in the night, you go in the morning to go and do your tasks. So your team will see that you've done your bit, even though you are not able to attend their meeting. So that has worked very well. But for Scrum Master, it's going to be a bit challenging because you are the one that should take ownership of the meetings. So I've seen in some cases where the team are also flexible to say, oh, let's meet at this time. I've seen some, So, but what you said, we're going to look into it, but I'm not going to promise anything for, in the next 3 days, actually. So it's going to be difficult, but we will look into that if that's okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, all right. So another question here is, are we going to do API automation? That's a big question, to be honest. I'm tempted to say no, but however, there's the API automation for the specialized program that we've already kind of highlighted. So because the last time it was a bit difficult because there are lots in Selenium, there are lots in automation that I need everyone to focus on, right? So to actually grab in the next 3 months, actually, and to combine APIs, automation to REST, that's another thing. So we'll see what we can do if time permits. So we might expose you to, to be honest, let me not promise, but one thing I can say, right now it's not planned to be, but we can look into it as we go along. But if particularly you are interested in the API automation specifically, right, I would say go with the specialized program, because then we'll know that it's going to be at that point. That's why I says maybe the specialized program will be people that are focused, you know, where you're driving at, you are a go-getter, so to say. You know you are able to hit the ground running. So yeah, basically, because at that point, I don't think they'll be teaching you manual testing. So yeah, even though you are able to go for manual testing, it's not part of the program for that particular program. So another question is, Deji, please, can you look into that? I'm a student in school during the day. I have clinical for 4 weeks in February, and I'm free at night. Yeah, I think yours is peculiar. So if you are free at night, I think you don't have any issues, to be honest. Most people that are going to be affected are people that are not free at night. I would say that 70% of people that are here will be working from 9 to 5 o'clock, right? So that's why we start the training from 8 to 11. So if you are free at night, yeah, this is for you, to be honest, that's fine. So for most people that are working at night, then that's the issue, right? So even if your team decides, there will be tasks for you to do, which you can do at any time. You can decide to say, I want to do it in the morning, in the evening, at night. That's your task, is your individual task. They will assign to you, you can do it. Maybe you might have to do within 3 days or 2 days, or maybe within a week, that's fine, or within the sprint, which is 2 weeks. There will be tasks for you to do. That is, you take it and you do it at any particular time. But there'll be meetings that you have to attend. So those meetings will necessarily be in the evening, or at night, basically. Yeah. So another question, please, just to know if the group meeting is virtual for some people residing outside London. Answer is yes, everything is virtual. I think Kwame actually mentioned some of these cases in this era now. Most of these workplaces are virtual. Even for me, I've been working remotely for a while now, actually. So, and most of the work you see is hybrid. You only go to office maybe once in a week or twice in a week, or as you fit, actually. So yeah, it's remote. So you don't need to be in London. The only thing that can take you to London in this program is when we are doing the graduation. And I think the dates of the graduation is already set as well. And I think it's the last Saturday in March or the first Saturday in April, one of those anyway. So yeah, so the graduation, or when we decide to do physical workshop. It's been a while that we've done physical workshop. Even I think the last time was before COVID, but now even the workshop we normally do it online right now. So I think the reason I'm saying this is because I put in for Scrum Master. Okay. So if you put in for Scrum Master and you want to change your specialized course, send an admin a message as well. So the same thing applies. So if you put in for a PA or QA and you want to go to a QA in a specialized program, send an email to admin@blueskycitadel.com. So they will look into that for you. Okay. So there's this person still raising the hand, user iPhone. I'm not sure if you have any question. Okay. All right. I think that's all. So all the questions. So thank you so much, Kwame, for this session. So we're going to hear from Kwame during the internship. To be honest, he's a fantastic tutor, very patient, and take you on the journey. And I'm really, really happy to have him on this program, and he's got a lot of experience in there. So yes, so thank you so much, everyone. So I will see you guys at the internship. For those guys that have not registered, please do register. I'm going to send, just bear with me quickly 1 minute. I'm going to send the link out. If the admin can also help me as well, the software testing application for anyone that hasn't applied, so you can do that. So by Saturday, I think that's tomorrow, okay, Sunday, we might shut down the application because the internship starts from, it starts on Monday. Okay, thank you. So I'm going to send the link right now. Okay, I'm going to unmute you, Ronke, if you want to ask your question.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I just want to find out for the registration, is it different from the one we registered with the Telegraph? Do we have to do another registration to start for the training on Monday?
If you're already on the Telegram, that means you already paid for the program, right? You don't need to register again, actually. So yeah, so okay. Once if you're already on this particular Telegram group that says 2023 Blue Sky Winter A, then you are good. Okay.
Can I say something quickly? I think somebody raised a hand or put something in the chat. Okay, I think so. We have about 80-60 people. I think somebody was asking, can they really do the software testing if they don't have background in IT? Because some of the few terms that I use, I think maybe was pipeline and DevOps was overkilling. It's not too strange. I tell people that software testing is the easiest career that you can get into software. The reason being, you are always testing, but you don't know you are a tester. Okay. Every time you go to any of the shops, if you are in the UK, Asda or whatever, and you're going to buy milk, sometimes you check the date. Has it expired or not? Or when is it going to expire? If you are looking at the date before you buy the thing, if you are going to buy a dress or shoe, you try it on to see whether it fits. All those are testing, but we are taking it to a level of testing a software program. Okay, so you already test, but there are times where you can use a phone, the network is not working. Like when I started, I think somebody said my voice was echoing. The person is actually giving a feedback that this doesn't work as he expects or she expects. So it's the same way we're going to train you, and you see that software testing is not as complicated as it seems. I may use some words to just explain certain things, but it's not as complicated as it seems. So don't be afraid of the terminologies. As you are in the field, you become familiar with it. So if you don't have background in IT, don't think it's that difficult to do software testing, whether manual or automation. We'll guide you through it. Okay. Thank you for the question.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that, Kwame. Yeah. And another question that actually came, that can we have the timetable for the program? Yeah, of course, we're going to have it. By tomorrow, I think they are going to send it across. One thing that I also want you to know is I think I was discussing with a member of the team that I try to run away from academic as much as possible so that you don't take this particular internship as being academic, right? I take it more as a work placement. You need to address it like that as well, that you are working for Blue Sky as an intern, right? Which means that you resume at 8 o'clock, you finish at 11 o'clock every day. So if you're able to allocate that time, 8 to 11, even though there's no training, you have 3 hours every day to whether you're going to go for your task or you're going to do your tasks or you're going to do your meeting for the next 3 months. To be honest, you're going to get a lot out of the program. So I would advise you actually to, to know that 8 to 11 every evening, right? You've kind of allocated it to Blue Sky. If that is not a big ask, yeah, but because you're going to need it anyway, so 3 hours every day, I would say you might need that. So tomorrow is for orientation, workshop, internship structure, so to say it's, yeah, so that is totally right. So tomorrow I will be talking more because I love talking. So it's going to, you come with your questions. You might not have this snazzy presentation that all these people have put together. Yeah, so it's just to say, yeah, you are still clueless, you are still confused and on what to do. Yeah, so this is where you come and ask those questions. So this is a orientation to say, what do you expect? What are you going to get out of this program? So now also maybe by tomorrow as well, you might see the listing, how the group structure will look like as well. So it's kind of, yeah, the starting point of everything, to be honest. So that is what is going to happen tomorrow. So, yeah, I will still go through all these programs as well and saying this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do. So that is the point. So one thing I can say. So for those guys that have said, oh, I want to change, I want to switch, make sure that you do that before end of today. So this is very, very important. So but tomorrow we'll be able to say we don't have space here, we don't have space here. This is only space that we want to have. Because once we already allocated people to the group, if you have to be removing people from the group, I don't think that is nice on your team members as well. Because for instance, if you already put 3 BAs in a particular group and 2 of you now say, I'm not doing BA, I'm doing dynamics BA. So that will really impact the group itself. So, and I know the team already kind of look into different dynamics so that we can get a very balanced team. So, okay, is it possible to know the meeting date? I think, yeah, that will be sent tomorrow as well. So, sir, is the 90% for every other training, or just the 90% is only for the specialized program only, not for all the programs anyway? So how much of the computer literate should you be to be able to perform well as a BA? I think you don't, as long as you know how to operate computer. Kwame was talking about the fact that everyone can do a QA the same way as well. So you know how to write, you have your computer, you can type any word, and yeah. And also, if there's any new software, for instance, nobody taught you how to use Zoom, nobody taught you how to use YouTube. So most of the tools that you are going to be taught as well are kind of that easy. You just need someone to show you, right? Once they've shown you how to use it, then you should be able to get ready. So one thing that's so important, like I used to say, is like, one, you need to be committed. Once you are committed and you have the apt to learn as well, I think Kwame also mentioned that you need to have that attitude to learn new things. Once you have that, I think you should be fine. So do we see our space for BA? Yeah, the answer is yes. We see our spaces for BA. So, okay, I think that those are the questions. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah. And once again, thank you so much, Kwame, for this session. Yeah.
Thank you. You're welcome, everyone.
Yeah, sure.
Have a nice weekend.
Oh, sorry, another question just popped up. To register for MSBA, do I need to have a BA experience first? I would say maybe yes, to be honest. So because, yeah, unless you are very, very vast, you have time in your hand, it's gonna be a lot actually, because it's like you're going to be learning to become a BA and you're also going to be learning dynamics. So that's the point. But if you're up to the challenge, I would say go for it. To be honest, I would not discourage you actually, but it's going to be very, very challenging for you because you are trying to fast track what people will have learned separately, right? Some people will have learned BA separately, and also dynamics separately as well. So yeah. Okay, all right. Thank you, everyone. Have a good